Hello, good morning, Ma'am Lee. My name is Christine Yvala, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you the proper way of doing bed making for an occupied bed. So the first thing we'll have to do, of course, is to understand the purpose of doing bed making for an occupied bed. So there are three purposes. Number one is to promote clients' comfort. Number two is to provide a clean and neat environment for the client. And number three, this will also basically help us provide a smooth and wrinkle-free bed foundation, which will therefore avoid or minimize source of infection. So for the assessment, there are four things that you have to assess during the process. Number one is to check the status of the patient, make sure that he can safely get out of bed. Number two is to check the BP, his BP or blood pressure, pulse, and also respiration. The reason for that is because there's a potential of him getting hypostatic blood pressure, especially for those patients who are in bed for a very long time. Number three, you also have to check for the client's mobility. The reason for that, or the rationale for that, is because for us to check if there is an additional need for an assistance in terms of transferring that to the client. And then the fourth assessment that we have to do, if there are any sort of a tube or equipment connected to the client, this is the rationale for that is this will help us identify if there's a need for an additional mattress or additional waterproof mattress that we'll have to provide for the client. So that's it for the assessment part. And now moving on to the performance. If, say for example, there's a patient, if the patient is there, you just have to introduce yourself, verify the patient's information based on the agency protocol. After doing that, you have to, of course, do hand hygiene, so which I'm doing now. So of course, the next thing we'll have to do is to provide privacy for the client. So we can either close the door or close the curtain, or if there is a partition, you just have to make sure that we close that. Again, this is to provide privacy for the client. And then after that, we have to make sure that the fresh linen, okay, we put the fresh linen in the overbed table, not on the bed itself. This is to avoid contamination, okay? And then after that is that we basically assess if the client can, get out of bed, assist them if there's a need so. This is, of course, make sure that we ensure our client's safety. And then after doing so, we raise the bed, okay? We raise the bed based on our, the comfortable height. But since this is technically not a hospital, but I'm not able to do that, the rationale for that is because this will help us basically maintain a body mechanic, or this will basically avoid us from straining our back or things like that. And then after making sure that we raise the bed comfortable, we also apply clean gloves, okay? We apply clean gloves, especially if there is any sort of, secretions from the soiled linen. But since there's no secretions on the bed, then I'm not gonna use any gloves anymore. Okay, so let me do the process now. So the first thing, let me just fix my camera. There you go. So the first thing that we have to do is to, of course, remove so it's kind of hard to remove it. A moment. You just have to loosen the beddings. Now, in removing this, we have to make sure that we do it in a way that it's away from us. Of course, for us not to contaminate our uniform. And then after doing that, we have to put this on the hamper or in an area where we basically put our soiled linen. Here we go. And let me do hand hygiene again, since I just hold a soiled linen. Now the next thing we'll have to do is to apply the bottom sheet. Apply the bottom sheet. We just have to put this on the mid part of the bed. Make sure that it's edge to edge. Okay. Then after that, you drop the hemline. And then we just have to fan fold this to the mid part of the bed. And then whatever excess mattress you have in the top side, you just have to top it. Now to make sure that the linen is secured, we have to meter. Side part. And again, this have to top it. The next thing we'll have to put in is, of course, the draw sheet. Okay. Currently, I do not have a draw sheet with me, but let's just say, for example, this towel is a draw sheet. So all you have to do is just to put it again on the middle. Okay. And then fan fold middle part. Now, if there's an excess, mattress or sheet on the side, you can, just tuck it. But if there's none, then that should be fine. Okay. And make sure that the draw sheet is, covering the back side of the client, since we'll be using this, position the client, going down or going up the bed. Now, after we're done with the draw sheet, the next thing that we'll have to put on is the top sheet. Okay? So in putting the top sheet, so same thing for the top sheet. It should be edge to edge. So this time it's on the top part. So get the hemline. And whenever it's excess or this part, you just have to fan fold it to the middle part, of the bed. now on the side, on the lower corner, corner of the bed, you have to meter it. Okay. Again, the rationale for doing, for doing the meters, of course, to make sure that the top sheet is, secured. Okay, it's not getting so. Doing the meter now. Okay. And then whatever, linens you have on the bottom part is having up. So after we're done with the top sheet, the next thing is of course the blanket. Okay? So for the blanket, same thing goes for the blanket. So just like the top sheet, we just have to make sure that put it in the middle part of the bed. So again, for the blanket, same goes to the top sheet. It should be edge to edge on the upper part of the bed. And then take one of the hemline. You just have to drop it. And then fan fold the remaining linen to the mid part. Here we go. Now, same thing goes for the blanket. We have to, do meter. Okay, we have to meter. Then top it. So there's no need for us to top the side part. And whatever we have excess linen at the bottom, sure to top it. Okay, so we're done. We're done on the side. We're now going to move on to the other side of the bed. So, in performing bed making, of course, the first thing we'll have to work on is the bottom sheet. Okay. Sorry, it's a bottom sheet. Here's the bottom sheet. Same goes for the bottom sheet. You just have to meter. And then the side part. And then the next thing we'll have to do is to get the drum sheet. After the drum sheet, let's do the top sheet. For the top sheet, you have to make sure that we meter it. We just move the camera a little bit. There we go. And then lastly, the blanket. For the blanket. Now lastly, for the pillow. Okay. So there you go. Now in putting the pillow, you have to make sure that the opening part of the pillow should be away from the door. Of course, this is to avoid, a dust or any microorganism entering the pillow. So that's it for the unoccupied closed bed. Now for the open and occupied bed, all you have to do is to fold the top sheet and the blanket towards the bottom. So that's it for the open and occupied bed. So the reason why we're folding it so that the client or the patient can just easily pull it up if in case he or she will need the blanket or the top sheet. So after, of course, we're done with the bed making process, we just have to make sure that we document it, making sure that we put in our notes that bed making or changing of the linens has been done. And at the same time, for evaluation, we have to make sure that the client is comfortable with the position, or that we did the bed making. And then we also have to check if we were able to put the alarm and at the same time the the call alarm, and at the same time, any tubings that's, connected to the client. So that's it for the unoccupied bed procedure. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day now. Take care.